Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Willow Creek. Welcome to my garden. This is going to be a follow-up to the video I posted a couple days back where we organized all of my canning shelves. So I am out here in the garden. There's several things that I need to get done. I need to get a bunch of peppers and herbs and start taking things inside to be processed later. So I think first and foremost, I'm just going to give you guys a quick tour. This point in the year, things look a little sad. So my garden is nothing super crazy, but it works really good for me. We have a huge backyard, so I've just kind of made it my own. I do all container gardening and have had really good success with it this year. So that's nice because last year I did not at all. So I will give you a quick overview and then we will get started on getting some things out of here and doing some work here today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize if you can hear the neighbors' kids playing in the background. They are currently outside and on their trampoline, and I don't blame them because it's a great day for it. But unfortunately, this is the only day that I have to be out here and film, so we'll just do the most that we can. So first and foremost, I have two 16-foot, or no, 32 foot. So two 32-foot cattle panels on this side of my garden. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview. So I have watermelons over here. I've never grown these before. They seem to be doing okay. This one is still growing. That one over there is not really growing as much as it should be. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So watermelon, and then I just have some herbs over here. There's another cucumber that I started. Here's my cucumber plant in here with all the marigolds. And then tomatoes with some flowers. And here's some basil. And then if you walk down this way, this is my poor tomatillo plant that I'm hoping somebody can give me some insight into what I've done wrong. It was looking amazing. And then for the past like month and a half, it's just like they do get big, but then the papers rot out and then the tomatillos themselves just drop. And the leaves have been yellowing nonstop, so I don't really know what I did or if it's me or not, but this tomatillo plant is an absolute fail. So over here, just have some more tomatoes. This is called a mushroom basket tomato. I don't know if I will grow this again. This was the tomato that I was the most excited for, and it's only produced 3 on the whole plant. So I don't know. Has anybody else grown those and had success with it? I do have some really pretty flowers in here. I can't remember exactly what they're called, Vinkias or something. I'm not sure. I'll insert it in here, but these are some of my favorites, and they've done really good for me all year long. This is a German mystery tomato. If you watched my first video, I don't know anything about this tomato plant. There's this one and this one over here. They're both that German variety that my husband got from a gentleman while he was land surveying. He gave him some tomatoes, and I saved seed, grew them this year, and they've done really good for me. They're starting to put on a bunch of new growth. Here in Iowa, it got so hot. I'm sure it got super hot everywhere just for about like a week and a half, enough to like you can see over here some of these like completely just dried out flower buds that we're going to produce. All of my plants just dropped a ton, so they're starting to put on new growth, which is nice. And I have some new tomatoes starting, but unfortunately I lost a lot of flowers due to the heat. So that's that plant. Just some more tomatoes. Cantaloupes coming up. I don't know if I will have enough time to get these to fully grown, but I thought it was worth a shot because my daughter loves them. And then I just have some carrots on the side. So here's the other side of the watermelon plants, just more tomatoes. This is a beefsteak variety and it's starting to produce again. Again, all of my tomatoes have new growth at the top, which is nice. This is a pink brandywine tomato plant, I believe. I'm still not entirely sure if that's what it's called, but it's a fuchsia pink tomato, and everything that I've seen online says that it's a pink brandywine. So that's what I'm going with. And then here is another beefsteak tomato plant. There's some chives that I replanted just in this little container. It's not super aesthetically pleasing, but it works. Some oregano. This is a yellow tomato of some kind. I don't know exactly what it is, just a yellow variety of tomato. This tomato is one of my favorites. It's called a Tigerella. And let me see if I can get one. to focus so you can see. They're striped. I got the seeds from MI Gardener, and this plant was doing really, really good. And then it got infested with hornworms and they just demolished it. And not only that, but it's starting to get a little bit sick. And at this point in the year, guys, I'm not treating these for anything. If they succumb to disease, they do. And here's the backside of the other tomato plants. So they have some dahlias, some snapdragons. Those still look really pretty. Marigolds that are not looking so hot. This bag was actually beautiful, and then we got a pretty severe storm the other day, and now it looks absolutely terrible. So Roma tomatoes here, which I did not plant. I don't know how I ended up with Roma tomatoes. And this is the brand of grow bag that I use off of Amazon. I'll link it down below. I'm actually really impressed with these grow bags. Super cheap grow bags last year, and they did not do the best for me. But these Marsh Hydro brands are awesome. These are 10-gallon grow bags. And then these are all cherry tomatoes. So this plant here is a sun gold. They turn orange whenever they're fully ripe. Sun gold and super sweet 100 are my favorite cherry tomatoes. They always do really, really good for me. So there's that one. And then this is the super sweet 100. So they turn red whenever they're fully ripe, and they are absolutely delicious. The plants themselves still look really healthy too, which is nice. So I'm hoping to do some different things with these cherry tomatoes. I dehydrate them, and like I said in a couple videos previously, I want to make canned whole cherry tomatoes to add to pastas and things. So don't mind my hose. I need to wrap it back up. But this is where all of my peppers are. So these are finally starting to ripen. And this was just an extra plant that I was like, I'm just going to stick in a smaller pot and see what it does. And the plant itself hasn't gotten very big, but it has produced peppers. So that's a plus. So this is a orange pepper. This is an orange pepper plant, and there's some carrots and stuff in there. This is a green pepper, and it has just some dill in with it that I let go to seed, and I've been saving as it goes. And then the other ones back here are red and yellow peppers, and each of the bags have a bunch of basil in them, which we are going to harvest together. And then here's just some celery in the back that's not looking too hot, but I've left it because my rabbits really enjoy it. Some jalapeno peppers in here, and there's marigolds in the bag with them. We have some big gem peppers. I honestly thought this plant was going to die, but it's started to put off more buds, which is really nice. So I'm hoping I get more of those because I harvested 2 off of this plant, and they're phenomenal. So hoping to get more of those. Here's just some banana peppers that have done pretty good. This plant right here is a peppercini plant. And next year, I am going to plant like 5 of these things. Pickled peppercini peppers are probably one of my favorite things ever. I made just some quick pickles with these this year, and we have eaten all 3 jars that I've made in no time, and I use them in a Mississippi pot roast. So definitely planting more of these next year, but hoping I can get more of them this year. And then I just have some carrots that are starting to come up. There's a weed. These are sweet wax peppers. I have picked all of them off, but they do have new buds coming on, which is nice. So hoping to get more of those as well. Here's some serranos with some snapdragons in the bag with them. And then some habaneros, which this plant is like loaded with habaneros. So I can't wait to make some habanero hot sauce. And then some poblanos. Now, my poblanos have not gotten very big, so I'm probably going to go ahead and pick these while I'm out here because they've been on the plant for forever. They're starting to darken up and get like a little bit of bad spots on them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these while I'm out here. And then I don't have anything in this bag at the moment. Oh, wait. Nope, I lied. I started to plant stuff in this bag, and it just really did not come up at all. But I can see now there's a couple little carrots starting to develop. So I might stick a couple more carrot seeds in this at a later date and see if we can get stuff to grow. And then over here on this side, this is just a zucchini plant that's starting to produce flowers and things. I've never tried to grow zucchinis in pots before, but I decided to just try it this year because I had some extra pots that I went through after growing potatoes in them. So this is zucchini. These are 2 little summer squash plants that I will end up moving over on the trellis if they take off and do a bit better. They're not growing as fast, and it's been pretty hot out, so everything in my garden has just suffered. These are some onions. Only a couple of them took off. I just used one of these like moving containers because it already had a huge hole in it, and I didn't really want to throw it away. So I'm like, I'm just gonna plant some green onions and see if I can get them to take off. Pinto beans. Now these are not looking the greatest, but I am starting to get some pods on them, and I figured this is probably not enough to do much with, so I'm just gonna save seeds from them, is what I've kind of determined I'm going to do this year. So hopefully they stick around long enough to do that. And then this is another zucchini plant that does not look very good. You can see how the heat really messed my stuff up. It probably messed everybody's stuff up because these leaves are just crispy. So we'll see what we get out of that. It dropped one of the flowers, and then I see one down here that's starting to come on. We'll see what we get, and then there's just some carrots in the front with it. So it's kind of looking like it could rain out here, guys. So ugh, I should have I should have worn pants out here because it's not that fun to sit in the grass, but whatever. We're gonna get it done before it starts to rain. Hopefully it doesn't. Forecast didn't say it was supposed to, but it's Iowa, so you never know. Anywho, so this is a big pot of basil that I'm gonna go through and harvest from. Everything in my garden I actually started from seed this year, so I'm really proud of that. Other than some of the flowers and things that you see around here, all the other things I've started from seed, and they've actually produced pretty well. So all of this basil was also started from seed. So I'm going to go through, it's getting pretty big. I'm going to harvest off of it, and I have just a little basket here that I'm going to put all of my herbs in because there's quite a few of them. So I'm just going to start taking off some things. There is technically a specific way that you're supposed to harvest basil. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But if I can help it, I do try to cut where, if you can see on the camera, where two leaves come out, because these two leaves will produce they will produce two new basil heads. So like here, see where the leaves are? These two little buds. I'm just going to snip that, and then you can also take these leaves off, and it will shoot out two new basil plants. Those nodes, and it's probably a little bit difficult to tell, but in between these leaves and the stem, there's two little notches that will grow two new basil plants. The more you harvest from basil, the more it's going to grow. And if you start to notice that it's producing like little flower tops, you definitely want to harvest it because you don't want it to go to seed. It will taste very bitter. This purple basil is my absolute favorite. It's so stunning and pretty to grow every year. I love it. I cannot wait to have my new garden at the new house. It's going to be so nice. Not that I'm complaining because I'm very blessed and fortunate to be able to have the garden that I do here in town, but I'm ready for something different. Container gardening is a bit of a pain in the butt when you have this much of a garden and it's this big, so I'm excited. So I think that's as much as I'm going to take off of that one, but we got quite a bit off of all of those. Okay, Opie. Opie, what are you doing? Opie, hi. I swear I'm going to invest in one of those little garden seats because sitting on the ground is no fun. But I've put basil in like a ton of the bags, so I'm just going to make my way around and grab it. Here's my next stop for basil, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some out of this bag. Okay, so I think that's it for that bag. So, and then I have 3 more pots on the back side of my garden that all have basil in them. This one has a cucumber plant in it with a bunch of basil, but I'm going to grab all of this as well. If you can't tell, I really like basil. This variety right here is like an Italian basil. I grew several different kinds of basil this year. I have dark purple. I have this mammoth leaf basil. I have like the regular Genovese basil. I have dwarf basil, all the basils. I don't have a particularly favorite one. I think that they all taste very good, but I think the prettiest one is the dark opal. This is my first year ever growing this mammoth basil, and I mean, it's not bad. I think I didn't fertilize it as much. Like, I started this later in the year compared to these, so it didn't get as much fertilizer. I think next year, whenever I grow it, I'm gonna start it earlier with all of the other basil, fertilize it really good, and then hopefully see how big it gets because this stuff's supposed to get really big. So I'm not gonna go as heavy handed on this one because I want to see if it'll grow bigger. So I think that's the amount of cutting I'm gonna do on that one. On this dwarf basil, I kind of just grab the whole thing and chop um, because it grows back so quickly. And then here's some of this Genovese basil. Ugh, it looks so pretty. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of this oregano while I'm right here too and make space in the basil basket. I just kind of like scooted everything over and I'm gonna throw this in here too. And oregano, there's no rhyme or reason to how you cut this. You can cut it however you'd like. It'll grow back tenfold. So chop the heck out of it because it makes it grow better. And then I just shake off like the bottom because it tends to be a little bit more dirty, but we'll wash it really good whenever we go back inside. And oregano for me will grow back each year. That's why it's in a pot. I didn't want to put it like in any of the bags. So it's just in a pot by itself. And then this will grow back every year. So that's what we have so far. Here's all of the oregano, and then this is all of the basil, and we're still not done with the basil. So we have a lot more basil to go, but we're going to start harvesting some other things while we're in the areas where the other basil is and grab some tomatoes while we're out here as well. Okay, so like I said earlier, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the poblano peppers that are on here because mine are not getting very big. And I want to can some salsa, and I thought doing like stuffed roasted poblano peppers would be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these while I'm already here. So this is my first year trying to grow them, and you see what's happened. I've left them on the plant longer to see if they would get bigger, and they've kind of like started to get a little bit mushy on some of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab them, and maybe that'll give the plant a little bit of time to put new ones on. Like this one looks really good though. No mushy, it's still pretty firm, but I just don't want to chance them all getting that way. So even the ones that are just a little bit smaller like this, I know this is like nothing impressive, but I'm going to go ahead and grab them anyway. Do something with them. And then I don't need to do anything with my habanero plant. My serranos, I'm going to wait until they turn red and can up some hot sauce. But there are banana peppers and peppers back there to get, so let's go grab some of that. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of these green peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some dill seeds while I'm out here, and you'll be able to tell that they're ready because they get super, super dry. See how these ones, like in comparison, are green and these are brown? These are completely dried out, and the stem itself is very like woody and hard. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of these. You can use dill seeds to flavor things with as well. I'm just gonna store these for next year to plant. I'm gonna grab a bunch more of this basil. Like I said, all of this dwarf basil, I just cut it because it grows so quickly. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. And then let's go ahead and grab some of these banana peppers while we're out here. Not that many, but still something. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of these cherry tomatoes. I came through the other day and grabbed a bunch of other bigger tomatoes. So I don't think anything like that needs harvested, but there's a bunch of these cherry tomatoes that we could grab really quick and a few of those Romas. So I'm going to start picking all of these. Even the ones that are slightly blushing, I'm going to grab. They can ripen inside. If you've never tried these Sun Gold cherry tomatoes, you're missing out because they are amazing. Super good. And they grow like absolutely crazy. I had to go around the other way to get to some of these because it's very difficult to reach through the fence, so. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these Romas and Tigerellas too while I'm out here. I just knocked that down. These are obviously not quite ready, but that's okay. They can ripen inside. Oh no, I didn't get to that one in time. It split open. Darn it. Whew, guys, it's hot outside. Okay, so I'm gonna start getting the herbs in the dehydrator. That's gonna take a bit of time. So by the time I load them and get back from my hair appointment, hopefully by that time they will be done. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab my dehydrator and start getting them loaded in. Okay, guys, so I don't have a super fancy dehydrator or anything by any means. I just have an American Harvest snack dehydrator, and this was free. So I will eventually get a bigger one, but for now this works. So these just have these circular trays, and then I bought these mesh cloths so that you can do different things. These are the original trays that came with the dehydrator, and these are the ones that I purchased off Amazon. These ones are not quite fitted to work with the mesh, so I just kind of push them down like so. A lot of these herbs and things that I just picked, besides the oregano, most of the basil is completely clean. Like there's really no dirt to this because I just cut the tops off. Like if it was dirty, I would go ahead and wash everything really good, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw all of this in here, and then I will deal with the stems and things whenever I go to take it out of the dehydrator. And we're just gonna put more trays on as we go. And all of this basil is actually a small batch. So whenever I have like way more than this, which usually I do, I feel like I need a bigger dehydrator. So that is something that I'm going to eventually invest in, but for now, with it being like the end of the season, we will make it work. And the last thing that we're going to put in here for now is that oregano. And I'm going to go ahead and wash all of this off before I stick it in here because the oregano is dirty. I'm going to worry about taking it off of the stems right now. I will do that whenever it's dry. So that's clean, and if you see like any icky bits, just go ahead and take them out. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on 135. And I still have this basket to go through, and I just have a towel down on my dining room table. I just went through all of these the other day. So I'm gonna put the tomatoes that still need to ripen up on that side, put some peppers over here. I'll figure out what I wanna do with these chives. I'm not entirely sure yet, and I don't have room in the dehydrator, so I might just chop those up and put them in the freezer, or I might just stick them in the refrigerator so that we have them later in the week to throw on top of things, but we'll see. So I have a bowl for cherry tomatoes right here. I'm just gonna stick all of the cherry tomatoes that I picked in that bowl, and then I think I'm gonna take some to my daughter's birthday party and give them away to friends and family, and then I'm gonna can some. So we'll make a determination on that later, but I'm gonna go ahead and get like the peppers out and get them stuck over there. I know I wanna make up some salsa here very soon, so those will be nice to have. And so we'll get those all out there. I love whenever peppers start to turn colors. They're just so pretty. And here is all of the poblanos. I'm gonna roast a few of these and then do something else with the rest of them. Here's the couple of banana peppers that we got. And then here's some not ripe Romas. Here's one of those yellow ones that still needs to ripen. A bunch of tigerellas. Here's these dill seeds. I'm just gonna take them and stick them on the corner over there for now so that I can remember to get some seed packets later and put them in there. I only have 2 cherry tomato plants, and that is more than plenty for us, especially in the Super Sweet 100 and Sun Gold. I mean, they just make so many. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in the refrigerator in a paper towel, and I will chop them up later to use on different things throughout the week. Quite a bit of produce, which is awesome. Hey guys, so I just want to say thanks for coming along with me today. I feel like we had a really good day, a really good productive day. I love being out in the garden. I'm out there basically every single day, so there's not too much to harvest every day, or like there's not too much to harvest each time I go out there because I'm out there every day and I'm kind of picking and grabbing things as I go. But I feel like what we did get was a lot just from the past. I've waited the past 3 days to be able to go out there and harvest with you guys, so I feel like that was super fun. We got a lot of stuff done out there. So I just wanted to say thanks for coming along with me. I am going to be posting a series on getting my new garden started at the new house. So watch out for that because I'm gonna be starting it here within the next couple of days, and that's going to be a huge undertaking. That's going to be a huge project, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I will take you guys along for the ride. So you'll get to see me say goodbye to this garden and welcome a new garden for the next coming spring. So that's going to be awesome. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go make the most of your day. Check back for future videos. And as always, have a good rest of your week. See you next time.